I'm not good enough. Guardiola faces a huge, daunting challenge. Pep Guardiola says he has had trouble sleeping during Manchester City's deepening crisis, so he will not have been helped by the horrific end to one of the most shocking defeats of his long tenure. Guardiola looked jittery, excited and tense even after City took the lead in the Manchester derby through Josko Gvardiol's 36th-minute header. His reaction to the goal almost an understatement given it came from a deflected cross rather than his puritan style. He sat alone with his eyes closed as he sipped water from a bottle before the restart, then was denied even the chance to claim victory as Manchester United delivered a dramatic end to a grim derby with a stunning late comeback. First, in the 88th minute, Matheus Nunes gave the ball away to Amad Diallo before compounding his error by bringing down the forward as he attempted to rectify his error. Bruno Fernandes completed the formality from the penalty spot. Worse was to come 2 minutes later when Lisandro Martinez's routine long ball left City's defense looking solid. Goalkeeper Ederson was misplaced, allowing the nimble Diallo to pounce from a tight angle and leave Guardiola and his players stunned. It was the final minute of a game, 88 minutes, in which the Premier League champions had led and then lost. It was also the first time City had lost a game they had been leading in the dying minutes. And in a sign of City's former excellence now being called into question, they have lost only 4 of their 105 Premier League home games under Guardiola, in which they have been ahead at halftime, winning 94 and drawing 7. Guardiola delivered a brutal self-analysis when he told Match of the Day, "I am not good enough. I am the boss. I am the manager. I have to find solutions and so far I have not. That is the reality. There is not much more to say. There is no defense. Manchester United are very persistent. We have never lost 8 games in 2 seasons. We cannot defend ourselves," said Pep Guardiola. Guardiola has suggested serious reform will have to wait until the summer, but the warning signs have been emerging for weeks from a sudden and shocking decline from a team that has lost the aura of invincibility that saw many opponents collapse before kick-off in previous years. He has declared that City must survive this season, whatever qualifies as survival for a club with such grand ambitions, but their quest for a record 5th successive Premier League title is surely over as they sit 9 points behind leaders Liverpool having played a game more. Their Champions League aspirations are also under threat after another defeat, this time to Juventus in Turin. City's squad has been allowed to grow together for too long. The insatiable hunger for success seems to have been lost. The scales of superiority have crumbled and opponents now feel vulnerable right up until the final whistle, as United did here. The way United were able, and felt able, to claim this victory goes to the heart of how City, and Guardiola, allow opponents to prey on their downfall. Guardiola has plenty to cite for injuries, particularly to Rodri and also John Stones and others, but these are no excuse for a dramatic drop in standards, coupled with a weak side that has been easily exploited. And City's rebuild will not be a quick fix. With every performance, with every defeat, the scale of what lies ahead for Guardiola becomes clearer, and more daunting. Manchester City fans did their utmost to reassure Guardiola of their faith in him with a giant Barcelona-themed banner unfurled in the stands before kickoff, complete with his picture reading, "Mais que un entrenador," more than a coach. And Guardiola must now be more than a coach than at any time in his career. He will have the funds, but they will come at the cost of strengthening City's rivals. Kevin De Bruyne, who turned 34 in June, lasted 68 minutes here before being replaced. Age and injuries are taking their toll on one of the greatest players of the Premier League era and he is unlikely to be at City next season. Mateo Kovacic, who replaced De Bruyne, also turned 31 in May. Kyle Walker, 34, has been increasingly exposed. His most notable contribution here was an embarrassing fall to the ground after a minor collision with Rasmus Højlund. Ilkay Gundogan, a player aged another 34-year-old and former pillar of Guardiola's great success, he no longer has the energy or the power to make an impact. This season seems too long since he returned from Barcelona. Weaknesses have been exposed elsewhere, too, with previously reliable performers failing to live up to their former standards. Phil Foden scored 27 goals and 12 assists as he was named Premier League Player of the Year last season. This year he has managed just 3 goals and 2 assists in 18 appearances in all competitions. He has no goals and only 1 assist in 11 Premier League games. Jack Grealish, who came on after 77 minutes against United, has not scored for Manchester City for a year, his last coming in a 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace on December 16 last year. He has scored twice for England. Meanwhile, Erling Haaland is also struggling as City lack creativity and cutting edge. He has scored 3 goals in his last 11 Premier League games after netting 10 in his first 5. And in another indication of City's helplessness and their reliance on Haaland, defender Gvardiol's goal against United was his 4th of the season, making him their 2nd highest scorer in all competitions behind the Norway forward, who has 18. Goalkeeper Ederson, so reliable so far, has been used once this season and failed to produce the spark that United needed to win. Guardiola, fresh from a 2-year deal, insists he wants it as he steps into this unfamiliar territory of failure. He will be under no illusions about the enormity of the job ahead of him as he lays his head in his hands in agony after another damaging and highly revealing defeat. City and Guardiola are in unforgiving new territory. Thanks for watching.